In this video, I'm going to cover two short topics. One is a trait combination with an equipment in Infinite Warfare, and then the other is the fact that Theater Mode has confirmed to not be in Call of Duty World War II and the impact that I think that will have on the game. I decided to combine these topics because neither of them are too long. They don't really go together well at all, but I just decided to combine them rather than making two separate short videos. Firstly, the resupply trait from the Warfighter and Personal Radar can be combined to good effect. The resupply trait allows you to resupply equipment from dead enemies, and the Personal Radar is a piece of tactical equipment that you can activate, and it notifies you of enemies around you. You'll see lights light up at the bottom of your screen, and the more light there is, the further away the enemy is in that direction. If there's only one light lit up, then the enemy is rather close to you. I like to use this just to ensure that I'm not getting flanked. Cold-Blooded does counter this, but very few people do use Cold-Blooded. Obviously, you don't want to rely on it entirely because they can have Cold-Blooded and then they won't show up, but it just serves as a good little notification if somebody's flanking you. Like I said, you don't want to rely on it. If you pop it and you see there's one guy in front of you, you don't want to assume there's only one guy there, or maybe there's not a guy to your left, but just use it to give you a peace of mind knowing when you're getting flanked. And I think if you use it like that, just try not to rely on it as much as possible. I know it can be difficult to just go not go with the flow and just not rely entirely on it. You still want to play your minimap smart and play off your teammates well, and just use good instincts in game. But just notifying you if someone's flanking you could save your life a lot, actually, because some spawns flip sometimes for weird reasons, and even if you are reading the minimap well, you might not notice it. That's pretty much it for this first topic. Resupply trait, Personal Radar, they go together very well because you can constantly have a portable radar up pretty much if you keep killing people. And they just notify you when people are flanking you. I don't think there's really too much to go in there other than the fact that you don't want to rely upon it entirely because Cold-Blooded does exist, even though it isn't very common. The next topic is that Theater Mode is confirmed to not be in World War II. I know some people think that Theater Mode makes the games play poorly. I don't know if it does or doesn't, but I've heard that people say that in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, that the reason the games played so poorly with hit detection and lag was because Theater Mode existed, and having to record everything while it was occurring was messing up the connection in some way. I don't know if that's true, but I believe that's what a lot of people think. I don't really see it debunked often, so I'm just going to assume that's partially true, and that's probably why they removed it from COD World War II, because they couldn't get the game to run well while having Theater Mode in the game. If they couldn't get COD World War II to run well while Theater Mode existed, I'm 100% in favor of cutting it, even though I really want it to exist. As a YouTuber, it's great to be able to record your gameplays there if I forget to record, or if the recording messes up in some way. It's great to have Theater Mode as a backup, but aside from that, I think Theater Mode is a great tool for players to improve, because watching your gameplay and notifying your own mistakes and then working to improve them and reduce the amount of mistakes that you make is a great way to improve as a player. But since we don't have Theater Mode to watch our gameplay back, we won't be able to do that, and we won't be able to identify our mistakes that way. Doing it in-game is much more difficult. It's much easier after you've played a match, especially later on. Say maybe you play a match and then an hour later if you go back and watch it, I think it's much easier to identify your mistakes that way. So now not having Theater Mode kind of reduces this ability to only people that have the ability to record, and capture cards aren't really that cheap. I think mine was around 160. I'm not 100% sure on that, but they cost a considerable amount of money, so that a lot of people won't be able to watch their gameplay back and improve this way. On the competitive side of things, I know that Theater Mode can be very effective for them, because then when they're really deep into a match, when winning is very important, it's good to go back and be able to watch a match and understand why something went wrong, rather than just talking about it after the fact. Some people lie or just misremember things, so it's very hard to improve the team without having Theater Mode. If you have Theater Mode and you can go back and watch and say okay, this is what caused this situation to occur, we need to not do that in the future, then you work on it as a team, you're going to improve much faster than if people are not willing to take blame, or they just don't remember doing something that messed up a certain countering game. So I just think Theater Mode leads to the community improving much faster and much more efficiently than not having Theater Mode. But obviously if the game cannot run well with it, then it shouldn't be in the game, because the game running well is more important than anything else, I think. That's going to do it for this video. Like I said, it was just two short topics. I don't think there's much more I need to go into with either of these topics. The Personal Radar and Resupply trait is very self-explanatory. Use the Resupply trait to resupply more Personal Radars, have a Personal Radar up more often, get flanked less. That's basically the whole spiel of that section. And then Theater Mode not being in COD World War II, I just really want to get your guys' opinions on that. I know a lot of people think it hurts the game, and if it does hurt the game, then I don't think it should be in the game. So comment down below what you think of either of these two things. Do you think the Personal Radar tactic's really newbie? Because it is pretty newbie and stupid, but it works for some reason. And then finally, what are your thoughts on Theater Mode not existing? Like I said, please comment down below and let's have a discussion.